Alright, everybody, it's obvious I'm out of practice with these videos because this is the third time we're trying to do this one. Promise you guys videos were coming back, and here we go. One that was just getting done. Just got done right before we started doing this again. This belongs to a gentleman in Chicago. It was originally a JB2000. You guys recognize the case. And for those of you who don't know what a JB2000 is, it was made by Wawasi. Yes, Wawasi, Black Cat. And it's a nice amp the way it was produced. However, the biggest flaw was its transformer. It's got 30 amps, 30 amps of a 5 volts or 10. I'm not sure which way it's configured, if it's series or not. But 30 amps. It takes 5 volts at 15 amps to light these bad fellas up. Now, the problem is they put everything in one. They put all their eggs in one basket. Filaments at 30 amps and high voltage all in the same basket. When these amps start getting a little bit up in age, or guys try working on them and put mismatched tubes in them, put them on a bad antenna, whatever, overdrive them. You can't overdrive a Z-tube. This transformer feels the brunt, and usually it will smoke. The majority of them that I see, transformers are gone. This one, ironically, his works. So we had to redo everything around it. I mean, I don't know who got in this thing, and I don't care. We made it right. We made it right. He's got an L network, not a Pi network. He does not have multi-bands. Pi networks are really good for multi-band amplifiers. You have to pick off your tune before you can load it up. That's accurate. Tune and load. We don't need it on this one. This amp will do 10 through 12 meters if you put a switch on it and do some taps. He don't care about that. Neither do I. No sideband switch. He don't do sideband. He's out there on AM doing his thing. I don't know if this is a driver or what, but the way we configured it, he can use it for anything he wants. We redid the face for him because it had so many holes in it. Let's go to the back side of the face. Look at all the holes that have been drilled in his face along the way. Some of them are original, some of them are added, but not cool. The meter movement worked, but the little sniffer circuit was shot. So let's take a look at how we remedied that. Now, we rebuilt this fella as simple and clean as we could. Matter of fact, it's so simple and clean, when I'm redoing mine, I'm going to redo it like this. So here we go. Now, in the bottom, you see that right there? It's a PDC watt meter bridge out of like a 5000 or something. We've shortened it, which doesn't seem to affect the way it reads. However, we did have to tune some stuff because now it's sitting inside an amplifier, not just an external feed through. So that is running the meter up top. He can actually tune this amp with its meter on the face for RMS. Now, most of the time, you cannot do that. Most meters on most amplifiers are relative. I mean, a Heathkit SB220 even has a sense knob, just so you can, starts pegging out, you can turn it down, whatever. Here's our sense knob right there. We put the watt meter bridge in there, and then we address the problem that I've seen on every single 500Z amplifier. Tube sockets. And I'm going to neaten these up. This was just to get it tested. We're going to get those nice and shiny and flowed. But I want to make sure these tubes work right. Get it all broken, gas tubes off, do what you got to do. But this is what we do. You see those little wires, those little straps going from the outer edge of the socket hole here? That goes from here, where the wire is feeding the socket, straight to the tip of the tube. Now, why would you do that? Okay, anybody who's had 500Zs for a while knows. You got to pull these things out and solder up the pins every now and then. And this is why. The sockets cannot take the heat. They start to expand. You're losing current. Tubes draw hard. Legs get warm. Solder falls out. It's not rocket science. However, if the tubes never have to pull so hard because of an intermittent connection on your tube socket, by bootstrapping them, I don't care if the sockets are brand new or they look like these monsters. Strap them. You're going to solder the tubes up later on anyway. Just do it now. Bootstrap it. The tubes will never starve for current unless your power supply is not healthy. So there's that little gig we did. And, make sure you got all the appropriate chokes in the appropriate places. And for God's sakes, guys, stop running Z-tubes straight to ground on the cathodes to turn them on. Put 5 diodes in line to keep it happy. A little bit of bias. That's all it wants. You guys call me, oh, my tubes are tearing up. Well, it's because your damn cathodes are going straight to ground and not even through an RF choke. You got to give the amp what it wants. We'll be right back. All right, let's check it out on the watt meter. The face of this looks really good. I'm happy with the way the face of this came out. All right, we are on the 5,000 watt scale. Slug meter, 1,000 watt slug, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. So we are on the middle gig. Right there's 2,000, folks. How about I take the amp off standby? You think? Let's do that. All right, middle scale. That's 1,900 on the peak, on the hard peak. 1,900 watts. We're only hitting it with 150 watts of peak, like not even 20 watts of RMS. No, it might be a little more than that. We are driving it with this thing I just got from a buddy of mine. This thing, I'm a Galaxy lover, and I called it a thing. It's not the big horn. It's the big rig series. It's got a few MOSFETs on the bottom. It's perfect to drive something like this. Now, there are some tricks we're going to be playing with in the future. You really need to pay attention, because I'm going to throw some stuff out here that's going to blow your mind, and you're going to be, well, you can do that. Yeah, we're going to do that. So, all right, here's as they need to live. Nothing more than what it wants. The case is empty. There's not a lot of stuff all crammed in. When you guys make your coils, we made this one. That is hollow copper tubing. Hollow copper tubing on a 2.5 inch. No, this one's a 3-inch stock. It's hand wound. Make sure there are no flat spots on your tuner. Now, some guys will tell you, it don't matter, it sounds in a circle. Well, it does matter. It's fine tuning. Make sure you've got a nice, neat, however many turns you make it, and you're going to learn about that shit yourself. But make sure it is a cylinder. It's a circle. It's a nice circle, all the way down, nice and tight, evenly spaced. Rarely on this kind of an amp. Well, this is not a radio. You can't go in and spread the coil back and forth, back and forth, and hope to get 3 more watts. You guys gotta stop doing that shit to your radios too. But just make sure. And besides, somebody's gonna see inside of this before long. Nothing lives forever. I'll probably get hit by a bus and I'll take somebody else. At least the guy's got a nice, neat amp to stick his hands into. And the way we did this one, you could pretty much take any 500Z schematic and work on this thing. So there it is. It's going to Chicago. I don't know if it's a driver or what, and I don't care. It's a bad little fella, just the way it says. You guys be blessed, 730.